Yo, what's going on, everybody? B Woody here, man. Back to welcome you to another episode of Sports from the Cave, man. The show that gives you a whole lot of sports and a few tips along the way. I appreciate y'all coming back to hang out with me as always. On today's episode, got another great lineup for you, man. We got some news that you might have missed during the week, and you know we got to get into that NBA All-Star weekend, man, which was not good. It just wasn't, man. I mean, I'm sitting in the living room with my wife, and we watching the skills competition. And I look up and I'm like, man, I am not impressed. And she looked up and said, me neither. And she not even into sports like that, man, but she knew enough to see that it just wasn't a good product, bro. So we're going to get into all of that. And don't forget, at the end, as always, I got my tip of the day for y'all, man. So stay tuned for that, all right? Let's get it rolling. All right, y'all. So to kick it off, man, like I said, I got some news for you that you might have missed during the week. You know, I know it get hectic going back and forth to work, you handling your business, man. Life be lifing, bro. So don't worry, I got your back. I'm going to take this time and get you caught up, man. And I can't forget that this segment is being brought to you by Dad Gang. I teamed up with Dad Gang because I feel like dads aren't celebrated enough, man. You know, it's a lot of good fathers out there, a lot of people handling their business, taking care of their family, going to work, making sure their family eat. And if you that dad, you should click the link in my description and get you 15% off your purchase at Dad Gang, man. They sell hats. They putting shirts on the website now. You don't want to miss out, bro. So click the link in the description, get 15% off your purchase. That's my gift from one future dad to all the dads out there, all right? All right, cool. So let's get into it. First up, we got the NHL, National Hockey League, man. They've been hosting the Four Nation Face-Off. So four nations, you got USA, Canada, you got Finland, and you got Sweden, right? So on Saturday, you had USA versus Canada, which is a deep-rooted rivalry for sure, which I had no idea about. I had to go look it up. Rivalry goes back to like 1920 or something like that. Now, I will say, Canada has dominated most of these years. And it makes sense because hockey is their thing for sure. And this happens to be our biggest rivalry with Canada. So deep-rooted rivalry, man. A lot of history behind there. When you wear the letters across your chest, first off, it's just different. But on top of that, like, politics seems to make its way into sports at around this time when it's country versus country. You know what I mean? Like, so this was a big deal, man. It was a huge deal. And before they even could get going in the game, there were three fights. There were three fights in the first 9 seconds, man, which is part of the reason why I like hockey, man, because you could just drop your gloves, get to it real quick, you know what I'm saying? Knock a dude out, go sit in the box for 5 minutes, and you back out there, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody getting ejected. Ain't nobody getting suspended. Ain't no fines. You know what I'm saying? Look, we got a problem. We throw hands and we go sit in the box for 5 minutes. So this is probably one of the most entertaining games that I watched for sure. A lot of big hits. You know what I'm saying? It was super intense. Before the game even started, the Canadian fans, when they sang the national anthem, U.S. national anthem, they were booing, man. It was loud in there. Like, it was crazy. And I'm sure that, like, President Trump made some comments that he was going to try to make Canada a part of the United States and stuff like that. Like, they was just going to go for that, but that's a topic for another day. But I'm sure that had a lot to do with, you know what I'm saying, the way Canada was playing and the pride and, the fans going crazy. So I'm sure that played a role in it too, but super intense game. The Kachuk brothers, Matthew and Brady, they interviewed them after the game, and they said they had a group text, and they planned the whole thing. Like, they put in a group, they said, yo, from the time the puck dropped, we getting to it. We throwing hands. And boy, them dudes was out there squabbling from the jump, man. They wanted to set the tone for the game. They knew it was going to be an intense game, and they wanted to set the tone for the game. So they went out there. They threw hands in the beginning 3 times in 9 seconds, and it worked, bro, because they won. They won the game 3-1. So now Canada actually faced Finland the other day, and they won as well. So the USA, when they beat Canada, they qualified for the championship. Canada qualified for the championship the other day. So now we get a rematch tomorrow at 8 o'clock, man. So make sure you tuned into that. I don't know if it'll be a bunch of fights and stuff, but the intensity will definitely be there, bro. These are two countries or two rivals that are heated, and you don't want to miss it, bro. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock, tune in for the championship of the Four Nations Face-Off hosted by the NHL, man. You don't want to miss it, all right? So now that we got the news out the way and we got you caught up, let's get to the main thing, man. So NBA All-Star Weekend. Like I said, bro, I get what the NBA is trying to do. They're trying to bring some passion back to it. You know what I mean? They're trying to go back to the days where, everybody wanted to tune in, and they're trying to, make the players, get the players back into it and stuff like that. But This one wasn't it, bro. It just wasn't, man. So first off, to start, you had the Rising Stars Challenge, right? They did a bracket with that. They had 3 Rising Star teams and 1 G League team. First off, how you get 3 Rising Star teams is crazy to me, bro. Like, how is it that many Rising Stars in the league? Like, come on, man. It's 3 teams. It's really only like 5 of these dudes that's gonna be all stars, bro. So like, I just didn't get that to start with. You got the G League team in there. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to incorporate them. Cool, right? So basically 2 games. They played each other 2 games. Well, there's 4 teams, 2 games in the beginning. The winners of those games go to the next round. The winner of that round is the champion of the Rising Stars Challenge, and they go to play on Sunday against the NBA All Stars. Right? I'll get into that. I'll get back to that in a minute. All right. So then you had the Skills Challenge, which was trash. Like, bro, you got Chris Paul and Wemby out there. They not even shooting the shots, bro. They running around the court. They just throwing the ball up, like basically trying to cheat the system, bro. And then got mad when they was disqualified. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is for the fans, man. This is for entertainment. Like, at least act like you care a little bit, bro. Like, it just didn't make no sense, man. The Skills Challenge, boo. Uh, then you had the 3-point contest. Like, and I hate to say this because my boy JB was in it, but he didn't shoot well. The best round was really when Buddy Hield had 31, but Tyler Hero ended up winning that. And that wasn't even all that. Then you came to the dunk contest, and only part of the dunk contest I'm not going to trash is Mac McClung, right? So Mac McClung wins again for the 3rd time in a row. A dude that hasn't even played in the NBA at all is winning the dunk contest like it's nothing, right? So you got Mac McClung. I got to give it to Stephon Castle. He had some good dunks if he would have landed them the first time. Like, we don't want to see you sit here and struggle with the same dunk for 45 seconds, bro. But I will give it to him. He has some decent dunks. But Mac McClung, man, he put on a show. The other 2 dudes, I don't even remember their names, bro. They didn't even land their dunks. Like, you got 2 dudes in the dunk contest that can't even land dunks, bro. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, why are we watching this, bro? Like, what we doing, man? So, Mac McClung, he built up the drama. You know what I'm saying? He jumped over a car. He had a bunch of props. Like, I mean, you can't really do no dunks we haven't seen. So, like, you just got to do the dunks in a different way. And Mac did that. And I got to give it to him, man. He's the crazy part is Mac has made more money in the dunk contest than he's made in his actual like playing career, which is wild. But if I'm Mac, man, at this point, I feel like the NBA is using me, dog. Straight up. Like, you're using me now, bro. 3 in a row. Like, you trying to get me back, of course, for one more because I'm holding this thing up by myself. Like, if I'm Mac McClung, I'm going to the NBA office and I'm like, yo, I need a couple M's if I'm going to do it. Straight up. Like, I'm 3 in a row now. I got the resume. I'm the only one putting on the show. Y'all can't find no other, like, y'all keep picking these bums to put in the dunk contest who can't even make dunks. I'm holding the whole thing up. I need a couple M's if I'm going to participate, bro. Straight up. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Mac, listen to me, bro. If you need an agent, come holler at your boy. We're going to get you paid for the dunk contest. What can you lose, bro? You got 3 in a row. You got the resume, dog. I got you. It's just sad, bro. It's sad. Like, it's sad, man. Then then you got on Sunday, you got the NBA All-Stars, right? So basically what they did, they took all the All-Stars. They let Shaq, Kenny, and Charles Barkley, they let them split up the teams, right? So they did a draft on TNT. And they split up all the NBA All-Stars, right? So you got the 3 of them, and then whoever won the Rising Stars Challenge, Candace Parker, took over that team. And I'll be real, the only time you really saw it be a competition was when Shaq's team was playing Candace Parker's team, which was the Rising Stars. And the reason you saw competition there was because these All-Stars knew we cannot let these dudes come in here, the Rising Stars, who ain't even All-Stars. We cannot let them beat us on All-Star night, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the only time you really saw some form of competition. It wasn't even that intense, bro, but at least we saw somebody play defense. I saw blocks. You know what I'm saying? I saw some steals. You know, I saw some Steph Curry's playing defense. Like, you saw some effort, bro, and that was the only time. So, I mean, I guess that portion of it worked. Maybe they should just make it, you know what I'm saying, varsity versus JV, so maybe them dudes will take some pride and they won't, you know what I'm saying, go out there and just lose the whole thing. Like, it's ridiculous, man. So Shaq's OGs end up winning the whole thing. Like the thing is that they played the 40, right? You play the 40, you get a timeout once you get to 15, you get another timeout once you get to 30, right? And they played the 40, which is super short because you look at these guys and like they just throwing up threes, like everybody throwing up threes. So like you playing a 40 by 3 basically. And it was way too short. Like it was way too short. And LeBron ended up not playing. Like LeBron is the all-star of the all-stars, bro. Like, let's be real, man. We come here, we want to see Bron. I mean, but I'll give it to him. He's been in like 20 something of these things. So people was talking about how he wasn't available for the media. He wasn't going to the practices. You've been in 20 of them. I don't care whether you go to the practices or not, because all you're doing is standing there just throwing the ball up, bro. It ain't really no practice. So I don't care if you go into the practices or not. My issue is with what LeBron did. You show up to the whole thing an hour beforehand, right? You open up to the media, and then you tell them you're not playing an hour before the game. Bron, like, there was other dudes out there that could have took your spot, bro. Like, you could have easily still showed up if you wanted to or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, the camera would have been on you. You know what I'm saying? You the all-star of all-stars, whatever. But, like, come on, bro. You could have gave your spot to somebody else, man. Like, let's be real. You knew you wasn't going to play the whole time. That's why you didn't even show up. But, like, you could have left the spot for somebody else. Then on top of that, they're taking the team photo. Everybody's dressed out in their all-star uniforms, and Bron in regular clothes in the middle of the photo. Like, come on, Bron. Like, I don't know if he was trying to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he ain't like the format. He didn't say none of that. But it just seemed like I'm going to show up an hour before. I'm not going to dress out. It seemed like he was trying to say something, bro. And I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I didn't like that at all. And I'm listening to Draymond Green. He's hosting one of the TNT shows, right? So I'm listening to Draymond, and he's talking about how he didn't hold back. He basically said he hated the format. He didn't like it at all. He was like, and some of this I agree with. He was like, it's not fair to the guys that you work all year. You know what I'm saying? You become an all-star, and you play the 40, and then your night is over. And I agree with that. And he also said nobody wants to see rising stars who aren't even all-stars playing on Sunday night. I agree with that too. Like, nobody want to see that jump, man. Nobody, bro. Like, it was whack. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I agree with him there. And he also was like, basically that he hated the format. It's not fair to the players. And he gave it a 0 out of 10, right? And the only point I think he's missing is Draymond. Like, this is y'all's fault. It is, bro. It's the players' fault. Because up to the players to make it entertaining. And y'all don't even try to make it entertaining, bro. Like, nobody wants to sit there and watch two teams score 400 points. Like, when you think about it, the best NBA games are not the ones where it's 140 to 90, bro. The best ones are when it's like 105 to 103. It's a close game. It comes down to the last couple of shots, the last few minutes of the game. Like, that's the type of games you want to see, and those are because of defense, not offense. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, you still got to have good offense in order, you know what I'm saying? Offense definitely plays a part in it, but good defense plays a huge part in it too. And if dudes are scoring 200-something points, man, nobody wants to watch that, bro. Like, at least get in the locker room and be like, hey, y'all, for the first 3 quarters, we're going to go out there, we're going to throw alley-oops, we're going to shoot a bunch of threes from the half-court line, and then, you know what I'm saying, maybe the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter will at least make it interesting. Like, we'll even take that, bro. Like, but there's no effort. So this is the players' fault. And part of it, a lot of it has to do with Bron too. It does because, I mean, LeBron, he sees it as a break. So he's not going to play hard. He's not going to do the dunk contest because he wants his break. And I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but it's for the fans, man. It's for the fans. And a lot of people want to compare to back in the day. And like, one thing I have about, you know what I'm saying, like the 80s and stuff, when the 80s, the 90s, when Jordan and, you know what I'm saying, even back then when Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, all of them was playing, even earlier with Kobe, Kevin Garnett, like, it was different for them, man, because you got to think, right? There was no social media back then. The only way to get on TV was, you know what I'm saying, you had to play. That was the way you got on TV. And when the most eyes were on the TV was when you had to be on there. And All-Star Weekend was one of those times where there was the most eyes on there. So you got to think, dudes showing up in their merch, they showing up, they a billboard for whoever made their suit. They pulling up in cars, they billboards for that. Like they got to get the media, they got to get the press, and or even like you know what I'm saying. You got a new pair of shoes out, like you got to play in the shoes, and like you got to play around the times, or you got to be on TV when the most eyes are on there, so the most eyes can see you. So because you got to sell your products, because the NBA wasn't paying like that back then. They couldn't. There was no TV contract that allowed you to pay dudes 200, $300 million contracts and all of this stuff. There was no such thing back then. So you had to represent your brand and be on TV when the eyes were on the TV, right? Now you don't need that no more. You got Instagram, you got TikTok, you got all these social media outlets that allow you to feed people what you want to feed them. I think that has a lot to do with it, man. Because you know what I'm saying? There's not as much drive and hunger to be on TV because I don't need it. Bron got millions and millions of followers. Steph got millions and millions of, all these dudes got millions of followers, bro, that they can feed their brand to anytime they want to. So I think that has a lot to do with like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not as big of a deal anymore, bro. And that's not an excuse because it's for the fans, but it's just the reality. That's just my take on that. So, I mean, I partly agree with what Draymond was saying, but man, it was bad, bro. It was bad. And it's up to the players, dog. And like I really don't know what the NBA is gonna do. Like I don't know how to fix it. Like they just gotta keep trying stuff. Like maybe they can lengthen the games with the bracket system so you get more entertainment. Maybe I've heard people talk about doing USA versus the world. Like there's enough all-stars now that are, that are not from America that you could do that game for sure. You could do a USA versus the world game. I mean, the other people I heard talking about it, they were like, the NBA has to make the pot bigger, which I can see that too. Like, because I mean, incentivize it, bro. Like, if you win the game, you split a couple $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Or like, it makes sense why you would do that. Because of course, like, what else? You play for money. You play for money, bro. But I don't know, man. I don't know what they do. I mean, with the dunk contest, I heard Stephen A. make a good suggestion where maybe you go around city to city and hold a tryout for the dunk contest. You televise it, NBA host it, and I'll add to that. Maybe even you go to the cities of the All Stars and let one of the All Stars from each city sponsor the dunker for the dunk contest, man. Because there's dudes out here, I see them on social media all the time, making ridiculous dunks, doing all kind of stuff, bro. So I'm sure that can maybe bring some hype to it. The NBA can use it to get out in the neighborhoods and maybe, you know what I'm saying, build some hype around that. Like, I don't know, man. They got to do something, bro. They got to do something because this ain't it. This ain't it, bro. It's just not. So, I don't even know what other suggestions to make, but the NBA got to try to do something. They got to, because the NBA All-Star Weekend, it ain't hitting on nothing no more, man. Just being real. And I know the viewership is down, so they got to do something about it. For sure. So before we get out of here, of course, I got to give you my tip of the day, man. And this one right here, I'm calling my man cave tip of the day. All right. So I know in the beginning, we talking about how you got to gather stuff, right? You got to get all your stuff together to put up on the wall, decorate all of that stuff, right? But remember, while you're doing that, make sure you put your own little personal touch on it, right? And by that, I mean, grab little stuff that, for memories, pictures with the fam, all of that stuff, man. So one of the things I got right here, favorite trip that me and my wife went to Greece. Absolutely gorgeous, man. You should go to Greece one day if you got the money to do it for sure. But I grabbed these ancient Greek helmets, right? These some little replica helmets that I found in some little shop, right? And this is just a nice little reminder of my trip to Greece. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just put it up on the shelf and it looks good, right? Another trip we went on recently, we went to New York. Of course, we went to Madison Square Garden to see my Knicks, but we also went to see a Broadway play, and it's called Water for Elephants, man. I kept the playbill. You know what I'm saying? I kept the playbill. I could easily put this in a frame, put it up on the wall, and it'll look nice, man. So all these little things add that personal touch and make the man cave feel like home. You know what I'm saying? You should feel at home when you sit in your cave. You shouldn't want to leave, right? So, man, add your personal touch to it for sure. Another thing I got right here over my shoulder, that's a newspaper from the second inauguration of President Obama, right? I got my ticket in there. You can see the little yellow ticket up there, man. But yeah, all of that adds that little personal touch. And like I said, it makes the man cave feel like home, right? So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all coming back to hang out with me. As always, man, leave me some comments. Let me know what y'all thought about the All-Star Weekend, all of that stuff, man. Leave me some comments down there and below. Don't forget, you can always click my links in the description to get you 15% off at Dad Gang. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. As always, we out.